Where is that? Let us go into the project stakeholder management. In this knowledge area, the processes are designed in this knowledge area helps us in identifying the people, group, or organization that could impact or be impacted by the project, and then to analyze the stakeholders' expectations and their impact on the project so that we can able to come up with the appropriate management strategies for effectively engaging the project stakeholders in making project decisions and execution. This is what we are trying to achieve through this knowledge area. There are four processes designed. One is the identify stakeholder, which is part of the initiating process group, where we are identifying the project stakeholders regularly in a periodic interval and analyzing their information like interest in the project, involvement, what level of involvement expected in the project, interdependencies between the stakeholders, influence, and potential impact on the project success all are being analyzed and documented into the stakeholder register. Then in the second process, planned stakeholder engagement, which is planning process group, we are developing the appropriate approaches for involving the stakeholders based on their needs, expectations, interests, and the potential impact on the project. Then in the third process, manage stakeholder engagement, which is executing process group, where we are communicating and working with the stakeholders in order to meet the stakeholders' needs and expectations, addressing the issues, and foster the appropriate stakeholder engagement involvement. As I told you before, the result of the project depends on how well we are engaging the stakeholders throughout the project life cycle. Then in the fourth process, which is monitor stakeholder engagement, which is part of the monitoring and control process group, where we are using this process for monitoring the stakeholder relationship and tailoring the strategies for engaging the stakeholders throughout the project lifecycle by modifying the stakeholder engagement strategies and plans. What do you mean by monitoring the project stakeholder relationship? We are expecting the stakeholders should work together in all the situations of the project. Even if it is going well, definitely they will be working together. If it is going bad, it's not as we expected, then the stakeholder engagement or relationship gets affected. They try to blame each other. Even in bad situations, they need to work together towards meeting the objectives of the project. That's why we are trying to achieve through the monitor stakeholder engagement process. This is the process mapping. Look at the first process, identify stakeholders. In this process, we are identifying the stakeholders' information, like who are the stakeholders, which organization they're coming from, what is the role they are going to play in the project, what is their interest, what level of involvement expected from each stakeholder, what is the interdependencies between the stakeholders, or what kind of influence they may exert on the project, what is the potential impact on the project success due to the various stakeholders, all are being analyzed. The key benefit of this process, it enables the project team to identify the appropriate focus for engagement of the each stakeholder or group of stakeholders so that we will be able to have a clear strategy in our hand when we go to the next process in the plan stakeholder engagement. Let's look at the process. So when I want to identify the stakeholders, what are the documents I could utilize? Number one, project charter. It contains key stakeholders list in the project charter itself. So it is the first identified stakeholders during initiation. From there, we can keep expanding the list of stakeholders. Other documents like business documents, business case, benefit management plan, communications management plan. We already thought about how we are going to communicate with the different stakeholders. That is useful information. Stakeholder engagement plan, if it is available with us, we can utilize because this process is not going to happen only in the initiation. Even though it is defined in the initiation process, we may identify the stakeholders throughout the project lifecycle. We put this process in initiation to make sure that we are identifying all the stakeholders as feasible at the initiation process group itself so that we can able to utilize them appropriately during the planning and so on. Because we need to collect the requirements from the stakeholders, which is essential document for collection of requirements. Other project documents like change log could be utilized, issue log, requirement documentation, agreements, which is the contract agreements between the various parties, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. Here we may use previous projects stakeholder register. Look at the tools and techniques, again, expert judgment, data gathering technique like questionnaires and survey, brainstorming again used here, other technique like stakeholder analysis where we are analyzing the stakeholders with respect to the level of involvement in the project, what kind of influence they may exert in the project, what is their interest, and what could be the potential impact they may create, whether they are a supporter, neutral, or resistor to the project, what kind of knowledge, skills, experience, and expertise they have, all this can be analyzed. Document analysis, our project documents could be analyzed in identifying the stakeholders and their capabilities. And data representation techniques, stakeholder mapping or representation, we will see. Meetings is the most commonly used technique. So what is the result of this process? Stakeholder register. And when you are identifying the stakeholders through execution or monitoring control stages, we may identify new information about the stakeholders, or we may identify new capabilities or influence they may exert on the project, which may require modification to our plans. So, which is treated as change request. Like requirement management plan may get updated. So, we may change our requirement management strategy based on the power, influence, and the interest they have. Communication management plan may get updated. Risk management strategies may get updated. Stakeholder engagement strategy get updated. Other documents update like assumption logs gets updated, issue log gets updated, risk register gets updated. These are called project document updates. This is simple process mapping. Stakeholder register, when you create, it goes to the project documents. Other updates are going to the document update, goes to the project documents. Change request goes to the perform integrated change control process. Project management plan update goes to the project management plan. In the stakeholder analysis, basically we are analyzing the relevant information, their position in the organization, roles on the project, stakes, expectations, attitude, meaning their level of support for the project, their interest in information about the project. Like we may able to look at it like interest. A person or group can be affected by a decision related to the project, rights or legal rights. Legal rights such as occupational health and safety may be defined in the legislation framework of a country. Moral rights involve concepts of protection of historical sites and environmental sustainability, ownership, knowledge, contribution, all these can be analyzed. Document analysis with the assessing the available project documentations and lessons learned from the previous projects to identify the stakeholders and their other supporting information. Data representation techniques, where we are analyzing the stakeholders with different aspects like a power interest grid, power influence grid, or impact influence grid. We spoke about this in the initial classes, or we may use the salient stakeholder cube as one of the method, salience model another method, direction of influence, how they influence, whether upward influence, downward influence, outward influence, sideward influence. Prioritization of the stakeholders may be necessary with the projects with a large number of stakeholders. These are called stakeholder analysis. Meetings is the most commonly used technique, where we can use the meeting to develop the understanding of the significant project stakeholders. They can take a form of facilitation workshops or small guided discussions or virtual group electronic technologies to share the ideas and analyze the data about the stakeholders. So you are coming up with a stakeholder register where you are documenting the informations like uh, who is the stakeholder, what's his name, organizational position or location, contact details, the role he may play in the project, assessment information like major requirements, expectations from the stakeholder, potentially for influence on the project outcomes, and which phase of the project life cycle where the stakeholder has most influence or impact. Because some of the stakeholder interested in planning, some of the stakeholders interested in seeing things coming up, like in the execution. Some of the stakeholder interested in understanding the problem and involve themselves with the problem solving. Some are interested in analyzing the performance and making improvement action. So we must understand their interest accordingly. We will be able to engage them appropriately. Stakeholder classification, whether it is internal stakeholder, external stakeholder, impact, influence, power, interest, upward, downward, outward, sideward, or any other classification model chosen by the project manager can be utilized. You will end up at changing the plans, changing the other documents. So, plan stakeholder engagement. In this process, we are developing the appropriate approach for involving the stakeholders based on their needs, expectations, interests, and the impact on the project. Of course, what is the benefit of this process? It provides an actionable plan to interact effectively with the stakeholders. This process is performed throughout the project as needed. Let's look at the process. Plan stakeholder engagement. So when I want to come up with a stakeholder engagement plan, what do I need in my hand? Project charter, is used for information, resource management plan, communication management plan, risk management plan, other documents like assumption log, change log, issue log, project schedule, risk register, stakeholder register. Of course, stakeholder register key project document for us here, because based on the information contained here, we are going to come up with a engagement plan. agreements between the parties, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. Our lessons learned from the previous project can be considered so that what kind of problems we face with the stakeholder engagement in the first project, why, so how can we prevent such a problems in this project while we are developing the stakeholder engagement plan. So expert judgment is one of the technique. Benchmarking is another technique. We can use the previous well-run projects as a benchmark in order to set the similar strategy for this project. Data analysis project, where assumptions and concern analysis is one of the technique. Root cause analysis is another technique. So that accordingly we will be able to engage the stakeholders. That's what we are trying to decide here. Decision-making technique or prioritization or ranking. Mind mapping technique. The mind mapping technique we use in the collect requirements process. Same techniques applied here. Stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. Stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. I will show you. The stakeholder engagement assessment matrix, basically we are analyzing the stakeholders based on current conditions. Where are we now? How many stakeholders in the resistor side? How many stakeholders in the supportive side? How many stakeholders on the neutral side? So how many stakeholders on the leading side? That means who is supporting in a very proactive manner. So here our strategy we are creating in this process should help us in moving most of the stakeholders to the supportive side. That's what we are trying to achieve through the stakeholder assessment matrix. This is straightforward. Stakeholder engagement plan, when you create it, goes to the project management plan. Expert judgment, we must utilize the people, those who are having expertise in understanding the politics, power structure within the organization or outside the organization, environment and culture of the organization and outside the organization, analytical assessment techniques, which is used in the engagement process of the stakeholders, communications means and strategies. These are the various areas of expertise. So we need to use these individuals to come up with a strategy for engaging the stakeholders. Data gathering techniques, which is benchmarking, assumptions and concern analysis. Analysis of the current assumptions and concern may be conducted in order to tailor the appropriate engagement strategies. Root cause analysis identifies the underlying reason for the level of support of the stakeholders in order to select the appropriate strategy to improve the level of engagement. Decision-making techniques, which is prioritization or ranking. Stakeholders' requirements need to be prioritized and ranked so that the stakeholders themselves will engage themselves into the process. The stakeholders with the most interest and highest influence often prioritized as a top on the list. Mind mapping, used for virtually organizing the information about the stakeholders and their relationship to each other in the organization. So stakeholder engagement assessment matrix, when you do that, we were able to come up with the analysis of, we have a group of stakeholders, unaware, resistant, neutral, supportive, or leading. What is unaware? They are unaware of the project and potential impact. Resistant, they are aware of the project and potential impact, but they resist to make any changes in the project. Whatever the changes we are proposing based on analyzing the current condition, this group of stakeholders always know we don't accept it because we are not comfortable. We are already used to the previous methods. We don't want to make any changes. This is always, they don't understand and they always resist. These stakeholders will be unsupportive of the work and outcome of the project. Neutral, they are aware of the project, but neither supportive nor unsupportive. supportive, they are aware of the project and potential impact, supportive of the work and its outcomes, leading, aware of the project and potential impact, and actively engage in ensuring the project is a successful one. So this is what we can able to understand from the stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. We are trying to group them, put it into the each group and see using this analysis, our strategies help us in bringing most of the people to the supportive side. Meeting is the most commonly used technique for discussing and analyzing the data related to the stakeholder engagement planning process and developing a sound stakeholder engagement plan, which will help us in achieving the project success. So you are coming up with a stakeholder engagement plan where you are identifying the strategies and action required for promoting the productive involvement of the stakeholders in decision making and execution. It can be formal or informal and highly detailed or framed based on the needs of the project and expectations of the stakeholder. Generally, it contains specific strategies and approaches for engaging the individuals or group of stakeholders. Then in the third process, manage stakeholder engagement, which is happening during execution. We are communicating and working with the stakeholders to meet their needs and expectations. And while we are execution, they may raise issues or concerns which need to be addressed and foster the appropriate stakeholder involvement in the various problems or the problems we are facing or difficulties we are facing in the execution. That helps us in improving the stakeholder engagement activities. The key benefit of this process, it allows the project manager to increase the support and minimizes the resistance from the stakeholders. Of course, we can say this process is performed throughout the project. Let's look at the process. So when I want to manage the stakeholder engagement, what I need in my hand? Of course, my communications management plan will help me. Risk management plan will help me. Stakeholder engagement plan and change management plan. Other documents like change log, issue log, lessons learned register, stakeholder register, all these are helpful documents in managing the stakeholder engagement. Enterprise environmental factors and organizational process asset. Here we can use our previous similar projects, our stakeholder lessons learned register. Look at the techniques again, expert judgment, communication skills, generally the feedback we'll talk about, conflict management, the same technique we discussed before, cultural awareness, negotiation, observation and conversation, political awareness, all repeatedly used techniques, ground rules and meetings. What is the result of this process? Nothing, change the process. Based on our analysis of the stakeholder engagement in the project, we may need to come up with a necessary corrective actions or for improving the stakeholder engagement into the project one. That's called change request. Generally, it affects the communications management plan, so we may end up at updating the communication management plan and our stakeholder engagement plan with the modified strategies to improve the engagement of the stakeholders. Other documents gets updated, change log gets updated, issue log gets updated, lessons learned register gets updated, and stakeholder register gets updated. We may identify new information about the stakeholders, so you get updated into the stakeholder register. This is straightforward process map. When I say manage stakeholder engagement, which involves engaging the stakeholders at appropriate project stages to obtain, confirm, maintain the continued commitment for the achievement of the project success, managing the stakeholders' expectations through negotiation and communication, addressing any risk or potential concerns related to the stakeholder management, and anticipating future issues that may be raised by the stakeholders, clarifying and resolving the issues that have been identified. All these are part of the managed stakeholder engagement activities. Managing stakeholder engagement helps to ensure stakeholders clearly understand the project goals, objectives, benefits, and risk of the project, as well as how their contribution will enhance the project success. This is what we are trying to ensure that. Communication skills. The method of communication identified for each stakeholders in our communication management plan being applied in this process. The management team uses the feedback to assist in understanding the stakeholders' reaction to the various project management activities and key decisions. Feedback may be collected in following ways. Conversation, it could be formal, informal conversation with the stakeholders, issues identification and discussion, meetings, progress reporting, surveys, all these are communication used as a feedback method to collect their concerns. Interpersonal skills like conflict management. The project manager should ensure conflicts are resolved in a timely manner. Cultural awareness, which is used for help the project manager and team to communicate effectively by considering the cultural differences and the requirements of the stakeholders. Negotiation, which is used to achieve the support or agreement that supports the work of the project and its outcomes, and to resolve the conflicts within the team or with the other stakeholders. Observation and conversation, which is used to stay in touch with the work and attitude of the team members and other stakeholders. Political awareness, which is achieved through the understanding of the power relationship within or around the project. These are called political awareness. Ground rules, which we defined in our team charter under the resource management we discussed, which is the set of expected behavior for the team members as well as the other stakeholders with regards to the stakeholder engagement. Meetings, like you may conduct many meetings like decision making, issue resolution, lessons learned retrospective, project kickoff, sprint planning, status updates. All these are the different meetings conducted to discuss and addressing the issues and concerns of the stakeholders. So basically, during this process, the changes to the scope may emerge. All the requests are processed through the integrated change control. Then you may end up at updating the communications management plan, stakeholder engagement plan, other documents like change log gets updated, issue log gets updated, lessons learned register gets updated, stakeholder register gets updated with the new information provided to the stakeholders about resolved issues, approved changes, general project status. All these can be updated. Then in the last process, monitor stakeholder engagement. Here we are monitoring the project stakeholder relationships and tailoring the strategies for engaging the stakeholders through modifications of our existing engagement strategies and plans in order to make improvement in the stakeholder engagement. The key benefit of this process is that it maintains or increases the efficiency and the effectiveness of the stakeholder engagement activities as the project evolves and this environmental changes. Of course, this process is performed throughout the project. Look at the monitor stakeholder engagement process. So what I need in my hand here, of course, resource management plan helps me, communications management plan helps me, stakeholder engagement plan, other documents like issue log, lessons learned register, the communication so far happened with the stakeholders, which is project communications, uh, risk register, stakeholder register, work performance data, and enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. Our previous lessons learned in the past similar projects can be considered. Look at the techniques: alternative analysis, root cause analysis, stakeholder analysis. Again, same techniques being used. Decision-making techniques like multi-criteria decision analysis, voting process, data representation technique, which is stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. Basically, this technique again used here to understand what is our current engagement of the stakeholders. In the construction project, everybody stakeholder, sponsor, project manager, project management team, main contractor, subcontractors, suppliers, all are stakeholders only. Then in the communication skills, we are again using feedback, presentations to make sure they understand the current status of the project, which increases the stakeholder engagement activities. Interpersonal team skills like active listening, cultural awareness, leadership, networking, political awareness, and meetings. So what is the result of this process? Work performance information, where we are describing what is our current level of engagement, what are the various concerns and feedback from the stakeholders, and what are we going to do about improving the stakeholder engagement activities based on the current status of the project. That's what we are expressing in the work performance information. So you are coming up with changes to the current level of engagement to improve the stakeholder engagement performance. That's called the change request over here. So you may end up at updating the resource management plan, communications management plan, stakeholder engagement plan gets updated with the new strategies for improving the engagement of the stakeholders. Issue log gets updated, lessons learned register gets updated, risk register gets updated, stakeholder register gets updated. In the multi-criteria decision analysis, we use the criteria for successful engagement of the stakeholders as prioritized and weighted to identify the most appropriate choice. Voting process again being used, communication fields like feedback. Feedback generally to ensure the information to the stakeholders received and understood. That's what the feedback is. Presentations to provide clear information to the stakeholders. Active listening, again we're using here. Active listening used to reduce the misunderstanding and other miscommunication. Cultural awareness and cultural sensitivity helps the project manager to plan communications based on the cultural differences and requirements of the stakeholders and team members. Leadership, successful stakeholder engagement requires strong leadership skills to communicate the vision and inspire the stakeholders to support the work and the outcome of the project. Networking ensures access to the information about the level of stakeholder engagement of the stakeholder engagement levels can be understood through the networking. Political awareness. The political awareness is for understanding the strategies of the organization, understand who wields the power and influence in this arena, and to develop the ability to communicate with the stakeholders. That's called political awareness. Meetings, which could be status meeting, stand-up meeting, retrospective meeting, or any other meetings agreed with the stakeholders in the stakeholder engagement plan. In order to monitor and assess the stakeholder engagement level, meetings are no longer limited by face-to-face or voice-to-voice interaction, but face-to-face is always ideal. They can be expensive. Teleconferencing and technology bridge gap and provides numerous ways of connecting and conducting a meeting. So in the work performance information, we are including the information about the status of the stakeholder engagements, like level of current project support compared to the desired level of engagement as defined in our stakeholder engagement matrix, so that if we understand the current level we achieved, which is we feel is not enough, we can make improvement in our stakeholder engagement level. So what will you do in this case? You may come up with a corrective and preventive action to improve the current level of stakeholder engagement. So change request could be processed through the integrated change control, which may necessitate the update to the resource management plan, communications management plan, stakeholder engagement plan. Basically, stakeholder engagement plan gets updated with our new strategies based on the current conditions of the project.